Hey everybody, GT here from GT's Barbecue. Today I'm going to do a lollipop chicken. This is actually a tribute cook that I'm doing in honor of a friend and fellow YouTube cook that passed away a couple of weeks ago. His channel's Phil and Florence, and a bunch of us got together and have kind of gone through his library, and we're each going to cook something that he did, and this is the one that I selected to do for you today. So we'll get inside here in a minute, get the meat prepped up, and we'll get started. Stay tuned. Okay. So the technique I'm using for these, I've already done a few of them. This is my first time doing this. I'm going to put the link to Phil's original video down below. But we want to cut off just a little bit of the end. Once we push the skin down, it's going to hold itself up anyway, but just a little starter. You don't lose much. And then just kind of carve-a-roo, technical term. Go around the bone, break the skin loose, stand it up, push it down to the bottom, and sometimes there'll be a little bit of a sharp cartilage down there or bone, and you can just cut that loose. And there you go, it stands up on its own. Now for the other part, just kind of run your knife up, roll it over, and you can see that kind of come loose there from the joint. And then you can just kind of get your fingers in there, pull it apart. And there you go. Pull the skin back down around there. I'll get the rest of these done here in a sec, and we'll get them seasoned up. Stay tuned. So there we have our lollipop chickens. They all stand up pretty good. Now all I'm going to do is take a piece of bacon and I'll wrap it around each one. Kind of take it up and over the top. I'm going to tuck it in. Tuck it in like so. And there you have it. We'll get these seasoned up here in a minute. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Okay, there we be. I didn't have quite enough bacon. I have 2 lollipops here without bacon, but that's going to be just fine. And I saw Phil once use some Daddy Dutch sweet rub that Kent made for him special, and he loved it. So I'm going to hit half of these with some of that. This is pretty potent. So I'm just going to give it a light coat. So I'm going to do 6 of these with the Daddy Dutch Sweet Heat. And PIF also used to like Uncle Steve's shake. I know I saw him do chicken once with the spicy R. Stands for a little bit spicier. So we're going to go Kent's on half of these and Uncle Steve's spicy R on the other half. So there you go. Got some Uncle Steve's spicy R on half of them and some of Kent's homemade sweet heat. So I'm going to let these sit here and sweat for a little bit, get the grill going, we'll get outside, we'll get them cooking. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, let's go over the setup we're going to use today. I'm going to do this as close to Phil's original video as possible. What I've got here is the grate from my Weber Master Touch, and you can remove the center portion of that, and there are a bunch of other accessories you can put in here. And then I have what's known as a vortex, which is a cone-shaped piece of steel that is going to take that heat, blast it up to the top, and then the heat will roll around and we'll have our lollipop chicken around the outsides. This particular Weber has a gas assist light, so all we have to do is turn on the gas and away we go. So we now have a flame down underneath the charcoal, and it'll take a couple of minutes for that to get going. I'll let it get hot. Once the coals turn white, we'll go ahead and get the meat on. So stay tuned. I'll be back here in a little bit. Okay, let's get our chicken on here. One of the things about this vortex safety tip, you never want to reach across it, because I'm telling you, the heat coming out of that thing is significant. Now I'm going to let these go. I have the bottom vents open about 3/4 of the way, and I also have the top vents open about 3/4 of the way. I'll probably about every 15 minutes rotate the lid 90 degrees because the heat's going to escape here, so it'll tend to get hotter around here. So about every 15 minutes I'll just turn this around and around, and then I'll also rotate my chicken as time goes on. So there you go. Probably here in about 15 minutes we'll give these things a rotate and keep on cooking them. So stay tuned. I'll be back here in a minute. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes. I'm going to check these again. This bacon is just sizzling. So I want to get a temp on one of these. Yeah, we're already at 189, 190 degrees. So these are close to done. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is glaze them. And to do that, I'm just going to take my little barbecue sauce bowl here. This is a lot easier than going over each one. So there we are. Would you look at that? One thing I forgot to mention, I did put a chunk of cherry wood on here for my smoke flavor. So this isn't going to take long. I think about another 10 minutes. I'll get this glaze to set, get them inside, and we'll see what we get. Stay tuned. Okay, here's our finished product. These things came out gorgeous. They smell amazing. This only took about 40 minutes at that high heat. After 15 minutes, I did close my bottom vent down to just barely open, and the same on the lid to slow this thing down a little bit. So nothing overcooked, but they came out perfectly. The bacon is crispy. The barbecue sauce is now set on there. So that is my tribute cook to Phil Rogers. Janet, thank you for sharing him with us all these years. He was very supportive of me. I think I had 3 subscribers, and he was always giving me compliments and never failed to share information. I really appreciated. He sent me a couple of bottles of his homemade PIF's barbecue sauces, and I think at one point I sent him some Washington onions. So it's been a pleasure. Janet and family, my condolences. If you'll stay tuned after this video, I did create a short photo tribute to Phil and the family, so stay tuned for that if you'd like, immediately following. So as always, stay safe. If you're so inclined, please like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me, we're meant to be